No stage, no performance, no announcement. And yet, somehow, the entire internet couldn't stop watching. A short clip of Jungkook riding a motorbike through a tunnel appeared. And within hours, it turned into something way bigger than anyone expected. No flashy editing, no dramatic build-up, just a quiet, almost cinematic moment that felt different. But what really pulled people in wasn't just the video, it was everything surrounding it. Because the deeper you look into this moment, the stranger and more intriguing it becomes. It starts simple. Jungkook alone, riding through a tunnel. The footage carries this black and white tone that instantly feels like a scene from a film rather than real life. The lighting reflects softly off the walls, shadows stretching and moving as he passes through. Nothing feels rushed. There's no sense of urgency, no attempt to impress. And that's exactly what makes it impossible to ignore. The camera doesn't try to do too much. The setting doesn't scream for attention. Everything feels stripped down to the essentials. And somehow, that simplicity makes the entire moment more powerful. You're not watching an idol perform, you're watching someone exist freely. But that quiet energy didn't stay quiet for long because people started noticing something else. What made this clip stand out wasn't just how it looked, it was how it felt. In an industry known for precision choreography and controlled images, this moment felt almost unfiltered. There was no clear intention to go viral, no sign that it was designed for attention. And yet, it grabbed attention anyway. Jungkook didn't need to exaggerate anything. No dramatic expressions, no over-the-top gestures, just presence. There's a certain confidence in doing less and still commanding everything around you. And that's exactly what this moment captured. But just as people were starting to appreciate the aesthetic, a completely different conversation began to take over. Out of nowhere, rumors started circulating online. Some fans began speculating that Jungkook had been involved in a motorbike accident around the same time this clip surfaced. Posts spread quickly with different versions of the story appearing across platforms. But here's the reality. There's been no official confirmation, no verified statement, nothing concrete to support these claims. Still, that didn't stop the speculation. In fact, it did the opposite. The uncertainty made people pay even more attention. Suddenly, the video wasn't just a visual moment. It became something people tried to decode. Every detail, every frame, and every movement was analyzed in ways no one expected. And just when things couldn't get more intense, another name entered the conversation. Not long after the accident rumors spread, fans started talking about Kim Taehyung. More specifically, rumors suggested that Taehyung had visited Jungkook, possibly at a hospital. Again, nothing is confirmed. There are no official sources, just speculation growing rapidly within online communities. But that didn't stop people from connecting the dots. For fans who already see a deep bond between them, this rumor added another emotional layer to the story. It turned a simple video into something that felt more personal, more intimate, even if none of it was verified. And that's where things get interesting. Because whether the rumors are true or not, they change how people experience the video. It was no longer just about what you see. It became about what you feel might be happening behind the scenes. And somehow, that made everything more compelling. Beyond the rumors and the speculation, there's a deeper layer to this moment that people couldn't ignore. The setting itself, a tunnel. It might seem like a random location at first, but visually and symbolically, it carries meaning. A tunnel represents movement, transition, and the space between where you were and where you're going. Jungkook moving through that space doesn't feel accidental. Over the years, he's shown different sides of himself. Artist, performer, global icon. But moments like this suggest something else, something more personal. A kind of exploration that isn't tied to expectations or labels. It's not about proving anything. It's about expressing something. And sometimes, that expression comes in the simplest forms. But even then, there was still something about his presence that people couldn't stop talking about because Jungkook didn't just ride through that tunnel, he owned it. There's a certain energy he carries in this moment, something fans quickly described as a hooligan vibe. Not chaotic, not reckless, but controlled, calm, and slightly rebellious in a way that feels effortless. He doesn't look like he's trying to create an image. He is the image. That balance between intensity and softness is rare, and it's exactly what makes moments like this stand out. He's relaxed but fully aware, quiet but impossible to overlook. It's the kind of presence you don't need to explain. You just feel it. Maybe that's why the video didn't just go viral. It stayed with people. Because in the end, this wasn't about speed. It wasn't about action. It wasn't even about what actually happened. It was about the feeling the moment created. Calm, freedom, and control, all wrapped into a few seconds that somehow said more than a full performance ever could. When you combine that with unconfirmed rumors, emotional speculation, and a global fanbase ready to analyze every detail, you get something powerful, unpredictable, and something that spreads faster than anyone can control. But here's the part that really stands out. This moment wasn't planned to be a statement, and yet it became one. It showed that Jungkook doesn't need elaborate setups or major promotions to capture attention. He doesn't need to explain himself. Sometimes just being present is enough. Maybe that's what makes this entire situation so fascinating, because even now, there are still questions. Was it just a simple ride? Was there more happening behind the scenes? Are the rumors connected or completely separate? No one knows for sure. But maybe that's the point. Not everything needs a clear answer. Some moments are meant to be felt, not fully understood. And this is one of them. Because without saying a single word, Jungkook managed to pull the entire world into one quiet, mysterious moment and leave them thinking about it long after it ended. And honestly, that might be the most powerful move of all. This uproar also demonstrates a crucial point about loyalty that transcends logic. In an era where information moves at lightning speed, the vacuum of official information creates a space for immense empathy. Fans aren't just consuming content. They're feeling Taehyung's anxiety and Jungkook's contrasting calm. Their relationship, both on-screen and implied in quiet rumors, has become a symbol of a bond that doesn't need global validation to survive. However, beneath all the theories and speculation lies a lesson about privacy amidst the global spotlight. If Taehyung truly reached out to Jungkook at his most vulnerable moment, it demonstrates that for them, the most tangible support isn't declared through social media posts, but rather a physical presence in silence. This is a mature form of love, one that prioritizes healing over recognition and safety over public image. Ultimately, that brief video in the tunnel will be remembered not for the bike or its speed, but for what it represents, a journey through darkness toward light. The tunnel serves as a metaphor for the phase they're currently going through, a transitional space filled with shadows, yet one that must be navigated to reach a brighter end. Jungkook shows that even in the face of high speed and uncertainty, one can remain in control of oneself. We may never get a definitive answer to what really happened that night, or whether that hospital visit was real. But perhaps that's its beauty. The power of this narrative lies in its uncertainty, in the way it lures us into hoping for a happy ending for both of them. In the highly scripted world of K-pop, it's these wild and unpredictable moments that remind us that behind the big icons are human beings struggling, loving, and finding their own way home.